In order for you to understand how great of a deal this is for Chris, you need to understand something called I.R.R. You're squawking about this deal? Guys, pay attention to this, by the way. This is like insane. I wish somebody told me this 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 5 years ago. All right, Chris Shannon, what up, dog? How you doing?
Pace, what's up, man?
What's up?
So I got a deal here.
Okay, tell me about it.
Yep, so we got a seller. She's interested, open to terms. We actually sent over terms to her, and she countered those terms back and pretty much just doubled everything that we sent over. So the down payment, the monthly payment, and then cut our balloon time in half. So her main reason for that is that she wants to retire, and she's using this as income. She's saying that, I guess, cutting that monthly income amount is pretty much going to dampen her retirement. So I just wanted to figure out and see if maybe you could jump on a call with her and figure out what we need to do to lock it up.
If you get me on a call, I'm going to use my strategies on this lady, and I don't think that you're going to want me to use my strategies on this. Here's what I'm going to suggest that you do. You want me to torch the deal? Because when I walk into a deal where a seller is playing hardball, what I literally do is I go, hey, I'm just calling to let you know that we're going to go a different direction. That's literally how I open up the phone call. And I'll say, hey, it's just right now, there's so many people that are just trying to get rid of their houses because the market's going to crash. Jerome Powell's raising interest rates in 3 weeks. We've got 5 deals we got to go and focus on. It looks like you're wanting a little bit more than what we can pay. Unless you can come down to our original terms, I think we just got to go a different direction. So you have to ask yourself a question, Chris. Are you in a position where you can walk away from this deal, or do you need the money from this deal?
I won't say need the money, but it would be nice to have and add to the portfolio.
What market is this?
This is in Michigan.
Okay, it's in Michigan. And what are the terms that you originally told her?
So originally we told her that we would do $300,000 for her house, which is pretty much the ARV.
Okay.
So we told her that we would do $15,000 down, 15-year balloon, and $213 monthly payment to her. Now she does also
$213.
Yes. So she does have a mortgage in place as well.
Okay, so it's a hybrid deal.
Yep. $65,000 balance, and her mortgage payment is $1,014 a month.
Got it. Okay.
It is rented out currently until February, and the current rent is $1,850.
Okay, so if this lady has a $65,000 balance on her mortgage, that means that she's had this mortgage in place for probably close to 10 plus, maybe even over that, probably closer to 15 years, which means there's basically no interest left on this mortgage. Your $1,000 that you're paying to her mortgage is being paid down on her principal almost 100%. And you're squawking about this deal. She wants 10% down, and she wants a couple of $100 extra per month, and you have a problem with that?
It's tight. Market rent's probably like $2,000. I mean, that was just our first initial exit strategy, but Airbnb and then also a wrap would be another possibility.
Okay, so here's my suggestion on this. There's no reason why, especially if this is her in retirement, right? We got to really think about, how am I really going to take care of this lady? So let's think about this for a moment. Is there a way where both of you guys can get exactly what you want? The answer is actually yes. How do we structure this? The way I would structure it is I would say, hey, how about I do give you 10% down. Let's talk about worst case scenario. Okay. So I think the first phone call should be, hey, I think we got to keep this in the original situation. This is why we've got so many opportunities. This is all the cash we currently have to buy this asset because we have 3 other deals that we're currently buying simultaneously. She's going to say yes, no, maybe so, whatever she's going to say. What I would do is I would go to your backup offer. Okay. What's your backup offer? Guys, pay attention to this, by the way. This is like insane. I wish somebody told me this 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 5 years ago. So the seller has a $300,000 house, a $65,000 Subto loan. This loan right here is a gold loan. Like, this is gold. It's an interest-free loan. She's been paying this thing down for probably 10 plus, maybe even over 20 years. There's no interest here. You're essentially taking over that $1,000 monthly payment, or whatever it is. What is it, $1,100?
$1,018.
Okay, $1,018. I bet you 800 of that right now is paying down the mortgage. That's powerful. I like this deal already. Like, for me, in my strategy and holding in your portfolio, this is more powerful to me than the cash flow. I couldn't care less about the cash flow because I know in 24 months or 36 months I can raise the rent. Okay, but this is attractive to me in my portfolio. I'm paying down $800 a month on this deal. I freaking love that. So that's the situation on that Subto loan. How do I know that, by the way? I know that because I've been in the business long enough to know that if the lady has a $65,000 loan on a $300,000 house, it's because she's been paying it down for quite a while. Okay, so there's some things at play here that you might be overlooking a little bit, Chris. Just maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. The lady, you go to the lady and you go, look, I'm going to pay your sub-2 loan of $1,018, of which I get $800 of that paid down my mortgage. Great, that's a good win, really, really good win for you. Then you're telling her you're going to pay her $213 towards her $235,000 in equity. Holy smokes, that is low. You've already structured a grand slam home run. $235,000. If you went out and got a mortgage on that right now, what would be your mortgage payment? Your mortgage payment would be like $1,500. This lady wants you to pay $450 on a month on this thing?
She wants $400 a month. Yep.
$400 a month. Oh my gosh, bro. You've structured a great deal here. You know that, right?
I knew we had to be close. That's why I figured we better get you involved.
This deal is great. This is a great deal. I love it. Okay. Now the problem is, I'm going to take a guess. The problem is you probably have $15,000, or you can bring in a private money lender for that $15,000. Okay.
We were going to plan to use private money.
Okay, great. So that's where the real problem is. This sounds like the real problem is right here, because this sounds like a great deal. I don't, $400 is what's the interest rate on the 235? Zero?
Zero.
Bro,
we never
pay her the $400. It's going in your pocket either way. You're not going to go buy sushi with that extra $200 difference. Put it in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Chris, have you ever done a multifamily deal?
I have not.
Okay, so guys, I'm going to tell you guys something really powerful, okay? In order for you to understand how great of a deal this is for Chris, you need to understand something called I.R.R. Okay, so when real estate investors jump into multifamilies, they start using a term called I.R.R. It means internal rate of return. And what that means is they take all of the benefits of owning the property, multifamily. They take the pay down, they take the appreciation, they take the tax benefits, they take the cash flow, they take all of those things and they add them all up and they go, man, our internal rate of return is 25%. That's a really good I.R.R. When you're in single family, all we can think about is this little bitty cash flow thing. People in multifamily care way less about cash flow. They care about wealth growth. Okay. And then I.R.R. gives you massive wealth growth. So check this out. You're making $800 a month in mortgage pay down. This is real money. That's real money. You're paying down a mortgage, $800 every month. Your tenants are paying that down. Bro, that is phenomenal. That's a great sub-2 loan you're taking over. This lady who wants $400 a month for retirement wants $400 at 0% interest. Dude, if you don't want this deal, assign this shit to me right now. This is a wealth builder. This bad boy is a portfolio amplifier. You've got $400 pay down, $800 pay down every single month. Your wealth grows by $1,200 stinking dollars every single month before you take your cash flow into consideration. When you buy the deal at $300,000, you also get to divide this and go out and get tax benefits off this. So your tax benefits on something like this, I know I'm going too fast for some people. I'm all jazzed and excited about this. I want to call this lady and go, you should ask Chris for more money. Give me her phone number right now. So think about this. You can get a tax benefit this year, just this year alone, for $10,900, which means you can go and make $10,000 on a wholesale deal in your other business and pay $0 in taxes because you bought this property, which gave you a $10,909 write-off. Divide that by 12. That's $909 of real money per month this year alone by buying this deal. And you're worried about your cash flow as the deciding factor here. Okay, so let's go here. One, your cash flow is, right, there's 6 reasons why people buy properties, right, Chris? So number 1 is cash flow. It sounds like you're going to make about maybe $150 to $200 a month in net cash flow, it sounds like, right? Am I about right?
Yep, roughly.
Okay, roughly. So your thing is, well, Pace, I really want to negotiate with this lady and I want to get my cash flow up higher. Okay, well, there's other ways we make money on this property. Appreciation. It's Michigan. No offense to you, but Michigan doesn't appreciate that much. So over the next 7 years, which is what she wants the balloon for, this property will go up $9,000 a year times 7. It will go up $63,000 in value over the life of the loan.
Yeah, so I guess just real quick though. So it does cash flow at our terms. At her terms, according to the calculator that we've been using, it's negative.
Okay, great. Well, let me get to that. So 3, I got depreciation. Chris, have you made money in any other business this year?
Yeah, wholesaling.
Okay. Do you think you need some tax write-offs this year?
1,000%.
Okay. How much money did you make in wholesale this year? 40 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand?
I think we're at like 70 to 80.
Bro, pay attention to this. At $70,000 in wholesale income, how much money you're going to pay in taxes on that $70,000?
I'd say we've actually made about 120.
Okay. So you brought in $120,000. That's what you brought in, right? That's not your net profit. That's what you brought in.
Right.
So you brought in 120. It probably cost you 50 grand in advertising and fees and overhead and gas and cell phone write-offs and all that kind of stuff. So you probably made a profit of $70,000. Okay. So you need $70,000 in tax deductions this year in order to pay $0 in tax. So wouldn't you and your partner like to avoid paying $30,000 in taxes in April when the IRS comes and asks for your tax returns next April?
Definitely.
Okay, so how do we save $30,000?
Pick up another property.
We buy this property for $300,000. We divide it by 27 and a half years, which is the IRS's rule. And then we multiply that number, which is $10,909. We multiplied that by 7 years, and you get all your bonus depreciation or accelerated depreciation. You just got $76,000 in tax deductions off this one property. Do you even give a flying shit about cash flow after that?
It has its other benefits.
Bro, you literally made $30,000 on this deal just by holding that property. That's real money. Okay. So I look at this a little bit differently. Now we'll get to the cash flow portion, but we understand that this one property will give you accelerated depreciation to a point where you don't pay any taxes on the $70,000 in wholesale gains that you had this year, correct?
With you. Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's get to that. We'll get to the cash flow in just a second. So there's the depreciation. So then 4 is pay down. Okay, so we already know in the depreciation, this first year you are going to make, can we all agree that he is going to make real $30,000 in real savings this year on this one property? Now, the pay down on this property over the next 12 months, you're going to be at roughly $1,200 a month in mortgage pay down, and multiply that by 12 months. So $1,200 times 12 months. You just made $14,400 in wealth because your tenants went to their magical JOB and they took 30% of their income and they paid it to you, which paid down your mortgage, $14,400. Do you understand how powerful this is? Sell me this house right now.
Huge.
Holy
crap.
crap.
Look at it that way.
Nobody does. Everybody's looking at things like cash flow. Now, the next thing that I care about, okay, is leverage. Okay. Now, leverage, you don't really have leverage on this property yet, right? Because you have lack of equity. So I'm going to skip over this. You're not going to really have that for a couple of years. That's fine. And then number 6, the 6th reason why I buy stuff is for the story. You want to know how to structure this deal with this lady and make sure that you want to take care of this lady, right, Chris?
Yep.
Okay. I think I'd love to talk to this lady. Okay.
She'd love to talk to you. I sent over your credit duty email, and she's been waiting for our call.
I can't even believe you're letting me talk to this lady. Guys, tell him he's screwing up. I'm gonna tell her to double down.